Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Samantha Newark, the original voice of Jem and Jerrica Benton, and I am hanging with Galaxy at Comic Con Radio.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy signing in for Comic-Con Radio. Comic-Con! Coverage of pop culture events from around the globe. Amazing interviews with celebrities. Daily recaps and reviews of popular television. Movie reviews. Everything Comic-Con and fandom from around the globe. Comic-Con Radio. Get ready to enter our universe. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy for another amazing episode on Comic-Con Radio. We know the world's in crisis, but we had to bring somebody on to make you feel that nostalgic feeling and bring you way back. Today, we have Samantha Newark on Comic-Con Radio. Samantha, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm feeling truly outrageous amidst all of this craziness. Trying to keep a good attitude, and I'm actually really good. How are you guys doing?
Pretty good. Thank you so much for coming on. It's a crisis out there, but, we said let's bring JEM and Jerrica, we'll bring her out and let the fans kind of get nostalgic for an hour. Yesterday we did a live segment with I think 20 friends of our show, and it was lovely. A lot of people tuned in, saw that. So we're going to do that again and again. But today we have you here. How have you been? I've
been good. I've been really good. I've been just kind of enjoying some downtime. A lot of my fans know that I travel and do a lot of Comic-Con appearances because it's so much fun to travel and meet the fans everywhere. Because I didn't get to do that when the show was on. I don't even remember there being a Comic-Con that I could go to. So now I'm meeting the grown-up kids. But since I'm not traveling, I'm kind of enjoying sitting on my deck and enjoying some sunshine and some downtime. What a concept, It's been nice, actually.
You know what? That's great that you're taking lemons and you're making lemonade with it. Back in the days, there were...
I try.
You try. I know you do. And I know back then there were Comic-Con events, but it was different. It was more about the comic book. You bought toys, people that were collectors and all about that. Now the world has changed. In the past decade, the Comic-Con universe has exploded. How does that make you feel that fans today are geeking over you?
It's so sweet. It never gets old. I'm meeting the grown-up JEM fans now that are bringing their kids, and they've got the DVD box set, so they're turning their kids onto the show, and we're hashtagging it the next generation because it's so cute, and these kids don't even care that it's set in the 80s, and they seem to just be able to suspend their disbelief, and they're jumping right into loving JEM like they're folks. So I love it. It's an incredible ride, and I never would have thought in a million years when I worked on the show that it would kind of cross over into the pop culture fandom that it has. It's just there's a great love for this show. It's incredible.
Good to hear how the show has affected your life and how it's affected everybody else's life out there. So I'm going to be honest with you. I used to watch JEM and the Holograms regularly. I would watch My Little Pony, Care Bears, Transformers, Ninja Turtles, Ghostbusters. I was that kid. I grew up in the 80s.
Oh my gosh, your childhood was awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. I was going to sing for a second. I was going to ruin this whole interview. But can you sing the JEM and the Holograms so I can just close my eyes and remember the great 80s?
Well, a lot of the fans that have been following me for a while know this, but back in the 80s, they were very sneaky. They cast all of the music. All of the music was a big machine in New York. And then they went on a big casting expedition to find the speaking voices of the characters. So the singing voice was already cast when I auditioned for the speaking voices of Jem and Jerrica. And back in the day, nobody knew because it was great casting.
Look at that. And sneaky cartoon people.
I know, right? Yeah. They used to do a lot of that. And I remember at the time I was hoping to get a shot at auditioning for the singing voice because I've been singing since I was a kid professionally. And my agent was like, no, it's already cast. And they're trying to match the speaking voices to your singing counterparts. So I don't usually sing the JEM theme song or anything like that because that's the territory of the wonderful Britta Phillips and the musicians. You know, that's their world. And they're fantastic. So.
At least we can try. At least we can try. I kind of know the history. I just was trying to get it out of you because here's the thing. The singing voice is great, and I know you're a very talented singer, but your voice is what made the character alive. You played it really well, very uplifting. You gave hope to so many people, and that's why I wanted you on the show because during this crisis right now, you know, I want people to know that, you know, things will go back to normal. Things are going to go back to how it is, and there's hope. And JEM was about hope. So if you could take one line out of JEM and the Holograms, which line you think would be best suited for today?
Oh, my gosh. Well, gosh, there were just so many poignant lines and fun lines. I mean, her tagline, what she's most famous for, what the fans love me to say all the time is, it's showtime, Synergy. Like, that's a big one, of course.
Nice.
You know, and maybe we need Synergy's help to, like, speed this up a little bit.
We need Synergy right now with everyone. We need everybody to, like, raise their hands in the air.
Yes. The Misfits are up to all kinds of trouble. You know, we've got to get this over with. But, yeah.
Well, you know, here's the thing. I speak to a lot of people all the time, and some say that it is sad. There's a lot of hurt going around, and you know, it's affected a lot of people, and my heart goes out. But then a lot of people are saying, you know, what can we do? We're just gonna take the time, and they're actually taking this time to write and read and start working out and changing themselves internally. So maybe it's helped some people, but at the same time it's hurt many people. So it's so hard to say if it's helped you or if it's hurt you. I know it's hurt many, and I know it's helped many, and I know financially it's hurting a lot of people, but a lot of people are also saying that they went back to this person they used to know once, and they know their inner self again. So, you know, if you can make this into golden, great, but my heart still goes out. It's a crazy time. And do you think that this came at a time when it would hurt us the most?
Oh, I think that there's something huge going on here, but I don't claim to understand what it is. I think so many of us are searching for the truth. We all want to know the truth. And I'd like to think 2020 is the year of 2020 vision, where we're going to start to understand things on a level maybe we haven't before, whatever that means to each of us, you know. And it's been such a weird time because, yes, you're so right. Like, I was talking to my friend who's a doctor yesterday in Canada, and he's got patients that are in nursing homes because he's usually on call, and they're like 96 years old, and they've got lots of other problems, and they don't have the virus, but they have a lot of other problems, and their families are not even allowed to come see them. And it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking, those kind of stories. I'm sure there will be many, many stories that will be coming out, but I also am kind of blown away looking at how when humanity seems to go through a crisis like that, there's a collective sort of coming together in a way that's really beautiful. Like, you know, 9/11, we all found a common ground. And if anything good is going to come out of that, I think it's people recognizing that we're all in this together on this planet Earth. And, you know, let's be kind to each other, because you just never know when the rug's going to be pulled out from under you, literally, like it has for all of us. So I hope everybody's managing to cope in their own way, and that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. You know, there's nothing as constant as change. Yeah.
Absolutely. There's a big light at the end of the tunnel. You know, the one thing I'm upset at the hoarders. So hoarders, stop hoarding. Give someone a roll of toilet paper, you know. But,
I know. What is this toilet paper thing? It's so
I don't know.
It's like, did we not have toilet paper for thousands of years? Like, come on, people.
No, I have to go back and look at all the zombie movies that I loved all my life, and go back and say every zombie movie is a lie, because not one of them had a toilet paper hoarder in it.
I know. I saw a great meme, actually, and it was, oh my gosh, we finally figured out who's behind the coronavirus. It's Charmin.
Yes. You know? Hey, it must be. Because they came out with these bootleg Charmans. I've seen them. They're just like clear with like the word texted on Charmin on it, and they're like one ply.
Yeah.
And they're double the price. You know how many people are price gouging these days as well? You know who you are,
horrible.
you price gouger.
Yes, it's terrible. I went through the 94 earthquake in Los Angeles, and I remember they were charging like $10 for a gallon of water, and they were price gouging on diapers and all kinds of things. And I was like, what is going on here? It was insane. Well, there will always be those people, but hopefully they'll get called out. Because, you know, this is a time when we all have to come together, like enough with the misfit behavior, right?
Absolutely.
and the misfits never win in the end. As much as they try to cause chaos, you know, somehow the benefit concert always goes on and people come together and it's just what happens. So I'd like to believe that we're more like the holograms than the misfits.
Oh, yeah.
In the collective, yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So the holograms and the misfits, wow, such a memory. I remember I would get pizza and sit in front of the TV with soda, and I would watch Jem and the holograms against the misfits and had the cool hairdos and the glitter and the glamour. And I was like, wow, this is so cool.
Yeah, right? It's like a soap opera for kids that had great stories and cliffhangers. You had to wait till the next episode to find out, oh my gosh, the Rockin' Roadster's hanging on the edge of the cliff. Like, we're all going to die, you know? And it's like, tune in next week. I love it. And now you can just DVR everything so the kids don't know. The struggle was real back then. You had to, like, wait to find out what happened.
It was
and
different
it just,
times.
like, fed into the excitement. It really was.
It was simpler times, though. It was simpler. We didn't have all the high-tech stuff. You know, sometimes I wish we had social media back then because I think some things would have blew up even 1,000 times bigger and got more popular quicker. Look how popular some of these things from the 80s and 90s are that still to this day people like geek over it. Now imagine if they had social media. OMG, it would have been a tornado.
Yeah. I mean, we don't even have a cast photo from JEM. That's what a different world it was back then. I mean, now you wouldn't even think about not getting a selfie with everybody in the studio and that type of thing. But back then, we literally did not even take a cast photo. How crazy is that? But later on, in 2008, we kind of got our cast photo in a way, even though we'd lost some of the cast members. There's a convention entirely dedicated to JEM and the Holograms called JEMCon. And in 2008, it was in Los Angeles, and they had so many of us, the original cast, and even Wally Bird, the director, was there. And we've got some awesome pictures, precious pictures of us all together. So over the years, we slowly started to reunite it through the Comic-Con world. It's just so cool. It's so amazing.
What's so amazing? JEM ran, 3 or 4 years, right? They ran about 3 or 4 years. But in those 3 or 4 years, it ignited episodes. Something so huge.
Scene 2, it really spoke to, I've just heard the most poignant, amazing, lovely stories from the fans at these shows. Incredible stuff. And a lot of stories, sadly, of kids that didn't have good childhoods, and it was the one thing that they looked forward to, and they were so grateful that they had kind of a moral compass, and the PSAs that we used to do and all of these things, because they obviously were lacking in the parental guidance area. So JEM was that for so many kids. And, you know, you don't realize when you're working on something how it's reaching people, and it's beautiful. I'm so blessed to be a part of it.
Being JEM herself, I know back then it was different because it was more like newspapers and Pop magazine or Bop or all that stuff from back then.
Right. Tiger Beat.
Yeah. After being JEM, were you picky or were you still finding another JEM? Like, what was your mindset after that?
Well, it's so strange because I actually did a lot of voiceover for commercials and television and promos and just all those kind of things that you wouldn't even know that was me. But, you know, Susie's Deals and KFC and just all that kind of stuff. So animation, I did work on Transformers, but I found that when I was toward the end of JEM, there was a big sort of shift toward the celebrity culture, and for lack of a better word, infiltrating the voiceover world, because I think they finally got cognizant, like, wow, this is really great work. Before it was very sort of a small niche, and then it started to become more fabulous. And I noticed I would be listening to the radio, I was like, wait, is that Julia Roberts on the MasterCard commercial? Is that And so when I was auditioning for more animated things, I started to be up against Alicia Silverstone and Drew Barrymore and a lot of famous people, visually famous, like, I don't know how else to say it, like celebrity culture.
Yeah, face actors, kind of, right?
Yeah, and they were wanting to hire them because they had that face recognition and just understandably. And I always had done music, so I was just in LA grinding away doing voiceover TV stuff, but also focusing on my songwriting and my music. And I was in and out of a million different bands and solo projects and pitching my music to film and TV and that type of thing. So my arc in the business has just been kind of all over the place. I just kind of went where it led me, where the fun was, whether it be music or the voiceover world. It's a mixed bag.
Well, you know what? As long as it kept you happy and you were in your element, and you're absolutely right. I brought that up in one of my shows. I brought up the fact, and I spoke to another voiceover actor, and I told her, I said, do you feel that the big celebrity actors, when they got involved in the voicing, it kind of took it over? And they say, yeah, they agree to it. It is tough to go against a worldwide recognized, I call him face actor, like a regular, an actor. You're both actors. You just got a voiceover actor, somebody that worked in a major movie, making $20 million a year, and they're going against someone that has an amazing voice, but they're like, well, we are going to get this person because it's going to sell our cartoon or our show or whatever. So I understand
exactly.
that.
Yeah.
I understand.
Not that there wasn't work out there, because the bulk of the work is not necessarily animation. Animation is very specific, but I like to think of it like the tip of an iceberg. There's animation at the top, but then there's this whole underworld of all kinds of voiceover work.
Yeah.
Even like
video
just tons
games,
of stuff, audiobooks and video games. Yeah, that's the bulk of the work. But half the time you won't even know that your maybe animated voice actor is also doing like car commercials. And, I used to do a lot of jingles. And I was a session singer in LA for a lot of years. So, like jingles for car companies and just all kinds of things. The work was all over the place, and demoing songs up for songwriters that got pitched to film and TV and just all kinds of work. So, it wasn't, I'm most known for JEM, of course, because it's so iconic and amazing.
But you've done so much more.
I've never stopped working. Yeah.
Do you feel that when the Comic-Cons, the conventions started popping up and it got big and hot, and now it's like everybody wants to be at a Comic-Con, the who's who, people that don't even know about what Comic-Con is, they want to go to it. Great, I love it. I want the Comic-Con universe to explode worldwide. So here's the thing. Do you feel that when you started, touring heavily more in conventions and making more appearances, that it took a lot of pressure off of you trying to do commercials and other things just to, keep yourself satisfied?
Yeah, gosh, who doesn't want to like go to a show and be doted on and treated so lovely by these shows that fly you out, and then the fans are just so amazing. It's I tell people I have the love job. Like, they beam all this love at me and I get to give it right back, and it's amazing. It's really fun. But I'm actually working on a voiceover booth in my home and kind of reigniting that in Nashville, because you really don't have to be in the major hubs anymore. You do for animation, but for the other stuff you really don't. So, and I don't want to live in Los Angeles anymore. I paid my dues there.
You're like,
no,
whatever.
No, it's not my vibe anymore. It's too crazy out there. It's fun to visit. I have a lot of family out there, and I don't want to live in New York because I love New York. It's awesome, but I can handle it for like 3 or 4 days, and then I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Well, you're over that.
I like
you were from the 80s. You were in it 100% all in the 80s, and that was like the craziest time of Hollywood.
Oh my gosh, I slogged it out at every stupid, awful, club in Los Angeles, playing with my bands, and just, it's every street has a memory in that town. It really does, good and bad.
Like,
but that's
all influencers running around with their phones, right?
Making videos. I know. And even and now we've got the Royals moving there. It's like the craziest place ever. It's so,
Oh yeah.
I love it. I love it, but it's a weird
big
place
theme
to
park.
live. Yeah.
Hollywood's a theme park now. And, it's kind of exciting. But
It
you know
is
what?
so bizarre.
Other cities are booming, though. Look, Atlanta is booming. Tyler
yeah.
Perry, where he has his studios, is booming. Canada is
Yeah.
exploding.
Exactly.
With
And then you've got all Funimation in Dallas, Texas, and Austin, and all of that. Yeah, we've gone global. Like you have choices now because you have the internet, which has just changed the game, which is awesome. Which is awesome in so many ways. And
respect has changed as well, right? Because I know back then, too many people that would hire people had too much power, and sometimes situations were rough and tough. But I feel now, everybody has a fair shot if they're talented, and no one person. Yeah, of course, big executives still stand in the way, but it's more opportunity because the access to instant news. I think it's good and crazy at the same time, and I wish the best for everyone out there.
I do too. It's opened doors that normally would be manned by the gatekeepers of the business. And now it's like you can carve out your own wonderful niche, and there's a fan base for everybody that's talented. And it's just, are you willing to work hard? Are you willing to do all the things it takes to put yourself out there? But it's helped tremendously. Like, I can't even believe that I get to be online and talk to people every day that grew up with JEM. And I mean, how cool is that? Like, I have so many internet friends now. My team sometimes laughs at me. They're like, is that your real friend or your internet friend? I'm like, I don't know. I've known this person for like 10 years, but I've never met them face to face because they live in Australia, but they grew up with JEM. It's incredible. It's availed us so much.
Yeah, they're part of you, and it must feel so good. The nostalgia bringing you back all the time, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Memories sometimes are amazing, but the fans are keeping your memories alive. They're reinventing it. Now, a movie came out in 2015 called JEM and the Holograms. You were in it.
Yeah.
You're a hairstylist. Yeah. I have a question for you.
Yep.
No, not a question. I have to tell you something. I wish they would have gave you a bigger and different role.
Yeah, I was supposed to initially, John Chu, when he contacted me, he said that he wanted me to be the stage manager, which I thought was great because I was the one that was always like, ladies and gentlemen,
that's what I thought too.
We're JEM and the Holograms. And then he was like, no, I think we're going to make you the voice teacher. And I remember saying to him, I don't think that's a good idea because, I'm not the singing voice and the fans know that. So, and then I remember telling him that I had pink hair at the time, and I was like, gosh, I wonder if that's going to be an issue. So I remember emailing him, and I was like, John, I have pink hair right now. I don't know whether you know it. And he was like, you do? And I said, yeah. And he's like, okay, I think we're going to make you the hairstylist. So I was like, okay. So yeah, it got changed a few times. But
I know. What do you feel about the movie? I know it's hard to say and speak up, and I know it's great to be part of it, but I think you should have been something more, a bigger role in it because you are JEM, you're the voice of it. Yes, it was an animation, but that's what people come out and see you as, right? Everybody comes out to see you everywhere as JEM. The cartoon's not alive, it's a cartoon, and it's an animation. So I think they need to remake it and have you in a different role. Maybe be the mom or something. I don't know, something cool. And maybe, what would have been cool, actually, Samantha? You would be the mom, and, like, you have your outfit there, and, like, you have, a special ring or something, and, like...
Be Jackie Benton.
Yeah. And then your daughter finds it, and then she's the new JEM.
Yeah. No, there could have been... I mean, I can't say enough about how lovely John Chu is as a human being. Like, he is a sweetheart, and the girls... in the movie were wonderful, and everybody was wonderful. And so it was a very awkward position to be in because I didn't know what they were going to do with the movie. They just asked me to be in it, and I wasn't about to say no to a JEM remake. I was flattered and honored that they asked me.
You think the fans would have even been cool with that if you weren't in it? Come on. Let's be real.
I know they started like a big hashtag thing, like get Samantha. They wanted us in it, so we were in it, and then they got mad that we were in it because they didn't want to see it, and I was like, oh gosh.
They don't want to see you as a hairstylist. That's the thing. They want to see you something different. I get it, and I brought that up because I think that when you grow up in that era and you look at things, and cartoons back then were so cool because they, at the end of it, like G.I. Joe or the A-Team or, Mr. T saying something at the end, hey, fool, you better do this, or JEM. They taught you lessons, too, back then. It's not like these days. These cartoons are crazy, but they're cool still. It's for the times. But back then, everything was a lesson, and it would have been so cool. But,
It was. I think we need more of that today. I think that we
especially
certainly do.
Today, with all the new stuff out there, they need to learn some manners and respect out there.
I know. It's out of control. Oh, my gosh. Did you see the coronavirus PSA that I did, the new one I did?
I did, yes.
You did. It was fun. I mean, I didn't do it professionally in a professional recording studio or anything, and my studio is not up to par right now, so the mix is not that great. But I was just like, I'm just gonna throw it out there and for the fans, and don't make them happy. And then suddenly I was like, what? It's had like 40,000 views. Like, what's happening? It was crazy.
Well, do you see the impact you have? Right? Sometimes.
Yeah.
You have to pull that gem out and believe in yourself. And maybe you could even get somebody to do like some kind of gem short, like some shorts or whatever, like not shorts like the pants, but like shorts where you're doing some scenes, some gem type scenes. And look, if this got 40,000, maybe the next one will get 100,000 and onward to 1 million. So you caught on something there, Samantha. This is something good.
I know. Well, I'm a big fan of the show Pose. And Ryan Murphy, who did Glee and all of that. And I was like, gosh, wouldn't that be cool if he got a hold of JEM? Because JEM is so glamorous, and the whole drag culture adores JEM because, of course, it's all like hair to the 100th power and all the so colorful to 80s and everything. So who knows? We'll see what happens. Hasbro doesn't tell me anything, but we have a JEM Funko Pop now, which is really great.
Do you have any?
Yes, I do. I bring them to shows. Yeah,
nice.
They're really, really cute, and I know the fans were wanting one forever. They were starting to customize their own. They were like, "Oh my gosh, I'm just going to make one because we don't have them." And then finally, Funko came out with JEM and Pizzazz.
Are you sad that this coronavirus has put your touring schedule on pause, where you can't see fans and stuff like that?
Yes, it's disappointing. It is, because I was supposed to go to, I was going to Ohio and New York and
10 places.
North Carolina. Yeah, I had like 10 shows, and I was hoping the one in July in Denver was going to be far enough in the future that it wouldn't cancel, but it just got moved to the end of November. So things
have changed because we plan things a year in advance. We do our marketing
stuff,
and we have to redo everything. But it is what it is.
It's a lot. Yeah, and we're all in the same boat. And I hope some of these shows survive because, it's a thing. Yeah. And they give so much to the fans. And it's just the weekends are hilarious. Oh my gosh, my cheeks always hurt from smiling. It's just such a fun world that I didn't even know existed. My first show that I ever got invited to was a Star Wars convention in Secaucus, New Jersey, and they were like, "We'd love you to come." And I was just like, I don't understand, because I'm like, I didn't get it, And they were like, "No, you have fans here." So they flew me out, and it was myself and Mark Hamill was the guest of honor, and it was like 20,000 stormtroopers and myself, and it was incredible. And I got to like play a concert. People bought my record and came to my little concert. They flew my guitar player out. It was awesome. I was like, oh my gosh, what is this world that I just landed in? How cool is this?
Makes you feel like so nice inside. And here's the thing. Fans of nostalgic things are hardcore, die hard. They love you through and through no matter what. So it must be a great feeling.
Yeah, it is. You always, there's so much rejection in the business. Anybody that's an artist understands that is a huge component of it, and you plow through it anyway. But to have done work that resonates with people in such a beautiful way is all you ever want. I mean, you don't you do it without the applause because you love the work, because you love what you do. But then when you do get the applause, it's really nice. It's wonderful. It feels good, and it makes you. It helps you keep going. It helps. With all the ups and downs of the business. It's wonderful. I'm so grateful for it.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. We all have to be grateful. I want to ask you something, Samantha, and you got to be honest with me. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Do you believe in ghosts?
I do believe in ghosts. Oh, I'm a big fan of the paranormal.
I
do.
Oh, you? Me too.
Oh, yes.
Do tell, please. Your spookiest story.
Yes. Oh, gosh. Okay, when I first moved to Nashville, I remember waking up, but I was, that in-between state of like kind of awake, but not really. You're not quite in your body yet. So I wake up, and it was my first night in this house in Nashville, and there's a Civil War soldier standing next to my bed. I kid you not. And I tried to call out to my mother because I was so scared, but I wasn't quite in my body yet, and I couldn't quite form the words. And then he just kind of put his arm behind his back, and he walked down my bed, and he disappeared. So he and I had a conversation the next day. I was like, okay, I get that you live here, but please don't ever do that again. Don't frighten me like that. And I never saw him again, but that was only one of the experiences that I've had. But I've had many over the years, so I very much believe in it. I think it's just the other side of the veil.
Wow. So Nashville, it's in Tennessee?
Big
Everybody's
Civil
going to make
War.
fun of me right now. I'm cutting that part out. Well, Nashville's in Tennessee,
Nashville,
right?
No, Music City, Tennessee. And there's everything that you can imagine with the music business here. Of course, country
it's booming,
is the big.
Right? A lot of people on American Idol, the ones that come from Nashville, are like the ones that are like the top people these days.
Totally. Yeah, I actually went to a Taylor Hicks concert
nice.
A few weeks, before the coronavirus, when we could still go to concerts.
Which was several weeks ago, right?
I know, it's so strange. I have to look at my calendar, what day is it? Wait, where?
It feels like
somebody the other day said
it's been like a month, right, or a month and a half.
I know. They were like, it's April 97th. I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right. It's like the longest month we've in our lives,
That's how it is. That's how it is these days. So how was the concert? You went there. How did it go?
Yeah, it was really fun. There's so much amazing music in this town. It's all kinds of music. It truly is Music City. Fabulous. I love it here. And I love traveling, and there's so many great places in the country that I love. But every time I fly back into Nashville, it's like calm, and it has that hipster and cool vibe that I kind of grew up in Los Angeles. It has that here because it's got the entertainment business.
Yeah.
But it's also
has that
beautiful
calm areas and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's got trees. It's got a lot of beauty around here. You're not so much in concrete city. There's nature there. It's lovely. So it's a beautiful place to live.
Do you feel that because you were JEM and JEM and the Holograms, and you were in like Transformers and all this and that, and video games and all that, do you think that hinders you from anyone taking you seriously as a artist, or no, it doesn't?
No, it's only ever been a blessing. It really has.
That's good.
I'm always amazed. I'm just amazed at the reach of the show. And my mom, who also lives in Nashville, she's obviously my biggest fan. She loves telling people if we're out, she'll say, "This is JEM." And,
I can only imagine.
Just like 9 times out of 10, people know JEM. They're like, they know it. And she always gets a kick out of that.
She sit in a crowd or stand, she's like, "That's my daughter. That's JEM. Do you remember JEM?"
That's my girl. Yeah. And then she's always really happy when they're like, "Wait, no, what, JEM? JEM from the 80s? JEM and the Holograms?" And she's like, "Yeah." And they know it, It's hilarious.
And then they're like, "Sing the theme song." You're like, "Well, I wasn't the singer. You should sing it anyway."
Right.
Yes, rock it.
I did actually sing one time. I sang the theme song at a show with a punk rock band. So it was a version that was so different than the original that I got talked into it. But it was fine.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I think your voice is great, and I think there's so much room for you and a lot of things that's going on right now. But let me ask you a question. I have a few more, and then we'll let you be on your calm day. If you could work for any side, Marvel or DC, which one would you choose right this second?
Oh my gosh, you're gonna hate me because I've never really been a big movie buff in the sense of go to say every Marvel movie or every DC movie. I am not that girl. So
That's
I
cool.
don't even, isn't that terrible? I don't even know. Half the time I'm at these shows and people come up in their amazing cosplay and I don't know what it's from because literally there's so much content. Yeah, there's so much content in the world. I would have to be in front of the TV 24/7.
Do you own a TV? Do you have a TV or just calm all the way in your house?
Do.
Okay.
I do have a TV. Yeah, I have a Roku. So I'm mostly on YouTube and I stream, I have Netflix and Hulu and stuff, but I don't really watch regular television anymore.
Nice.
I think they're sending us.
It's all good. It's all good if you don't.
Yeah.
You don't have to be embarrassed about it. You don't have to watch TV 24/7 to fit in. It's all, everything's at your fingertips these days. You can go on YouTube, get what you need, and don't take what you don't want.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's something for everybody, which is just
It'll
so
drive you crazy
cool.
anyways, Samantha. There's so much to watch these days. I have to watch a whole bunch of stuff for work, and it just drives me crazy sometimes.
I mean, if I need to reference something, I'll go ahead and watch it. I'm much more into delving into the paranormal world, and that kind of thing really fascinates me. So
I sleep
more that.
4 hours a night, 20 hours of it. I'm working. 5 hours of that I'm watching something that has to do for work and then writing and all that other crazy stuff. So it's a crazy world. Yeah. Don't get into it. Just do what you do. So paranormal stuff. Would you ever want to be on a paranormal TV show? Would you ever do something paranormal? Are you that into it?
No, because I would be afraid something would follow me home. I don't want to go ghost hunting or anything like that because it kind of freaks me out. Because I think there is some spooky stuff out there, but.
So you believe in
but I love learning about it.
That's why you said that, because you're like, the first thing you said was like, I don't want it to follow me home. So what's up.
I do. Yeah, there's some creepy things out there. So I'll watch it from the peripheral on my Roku.
Well, you know what I've noticed? I've noticed lately these days, because technology and all these apps like TikTok and stuff that people are just randomly putting on, it's more and more abundant. Like there's more videos out there showing paranormal things like ever before. And I think it's because of technology, because there's cameras or somebody recording something 24/7 from every angle.
Yeah, somebody always has a camera. It's incredible. And by the paranormal, that also includes like UFOs and all of that kind of stuff. I mean, it's fascinating. I just think there's a whole world that is kind of secretly hidden, and people are delving into it and videotaping it, and it's fascinating.
Oh yeah.
So I'll take that over a blockbuster movie any day, really. It's more my alley.
If you want to see something creepy, and I think you probably, I don't know, I couldn't sleep for 2 days after I saw this.
Oh no.
Just go on YouTube and look up Carmel, Maine, or the house in Carmel, Maine. It's this gentleman like talks to them and like he explains it, and the videos he does are, I couldn't sleep. I was looking behind my back for 2 days. Even when I'm in the studio recording stuff, I'm like looking behind my back for 2 days.
Creepy.
There's
some, I will look that up.
It's
I watched the movie Hereditary because I knew that it had this kind of paranormal thing, and it freaked me out. I had to sleep with the lights on for 2 days. I was like, that was not a good idea. I should not have watched that.
Even their posters freaky.
Oh God, it freaked me out. Yeah.
Wow. So what's up for you? Like what's in the works? What new projects? Anything that you want to share with the world that you're working on? I know you have a new team, and your new teams wants you to get out there and be, who you are. I know that, but what else? What do you have in the works?
Well, it's the 35th anniversary of JEM this year, so I had some wonderful things planned, and they'll probably get pushed to the end of the year. There's a new doll line coming out, a new JEM and the Holograms doll line from Integrity coming out. There are also action figures coming out for the first time.
Nice.
So that's going to be amazing. And then on my music side, I'm doing a remix album for a hologram. I'm almost finished with with the remixes, and I just shot a cameo for a documentary film for this cool band that was heavily influenced by JEM, and I'm just doing that and getting back into the voiceover world again. So it's all good. I'm being super creative, and I'm still writing. And
you need that.
Yeah.
You need that.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. You could only do so much. You need a good team behind you because you have that history. You have the brands. You have things that you've been involved in, and you have the fans that love those things. And I think right now this is your time again. I know you've been working all these years. I know you've been doing voiceover. You're actively doing things. You're in Nashville. Come on, who would live in Nashville if they're not singing all the time? But it's just think of it like that, and don't think of a lot of people tell me 2020 I had all these plans and then coronavirus hit, and now maybe this is the time where you just got to find your inner self and just explode it. And I know people love it, and they're gonna love everything you do.
Thank you so much for saying that. And in the big picture, it's only been a month, right? Has it been a month?
Course.
Somewhere around a month. It feels like the end of the world, obviously, because it's such a ridiculous departure from the way we're used to living our lives. But in the big picture, it's a small amount of time, hopefully. And I think it's a time to kind of, you can reinvent yourself. You can, I'm starting to dream again. And this is really lovely because you get so caught up in the work and traveling and the component of dreaming and visualizing and all of that stuff and dreaming up the next thing is super important too. And now everybody's kind of got time to do that. So I would encourage everybody to do that. Super important.
Absolutely. Well, Samantha, dream big. We want everybody out there to dream big. Samantha, is there anything you want to tell your lovely fans out there before we head out?
Oh, gosh. Well, just thank you so much for being with me. So many of you have followed me for so many years, and you guys are my heart. And all the new fans out there, hello. And I'm easy to find, too, SamanthaNewark.com. So please come find me on Instagram. I'll follow you back, and Twitter. And
what's your Instagram handle?
JEM community. Samantha Newark Official.
Samantha Newark Official. Don't go to the other Samantha Newark. That is not JEM, okay? Go to Samantha Newark Official.
It's an imposter.
It's an imposter. They're part of the other crew.
The misfits in disguise.
Yeah, there you go. Well, that's funny, and they're gonna find you. They're probably already found you already. So it's it's Samantha Newark Official on Instagram, or it's SamanthaNewark.com. It's her official website. Yeah. Check her out. Go on there. Support her. Amazing. If you haven't seen JEM and the Holograms, go right now. Look it up.
Go binge it.
You're gonna love it. Get inspired.
So much fun.
And with that said, Samantha, are you ready to sign out from another amazing episode of Comic-Con Radio?
Yes, it's so lovely speaking with you. And I guess there's nothing left to say except
well, with that said,
over synergy.
Well, you know what? With that said, ladies and gems, I would love for Samantha to do one little quick roll again to call out for synergy. Are you ready, Samantha?
I'm ready.
Go ahead.
Show's over, synergy.
There you go. Show's over. And with that said, we're going to blow a billion kisses out there to all the fans. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Mwah! Billion kisses. To all the fans. JEM just gave you guys a billion kisses. And good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy with the lovely Samantha Newark. And we're signing out from another amazing episode of Comic-Con Radio in the home studio. And we love you guys out there and gals. And peace.
Peace.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy signing out from another amazing episode of Comic-Con Radio. Tune in for your daily shows of Comic-Con Radio. Go to comiccon-radio.com. Reach us on social media, Instagram at Comic-Con Radio. Comic-Con Radio, taking the world one listener at a time.
You were so sweet. Oh my gosh, how fun. This was so much fun. Thank you.